All right, what is going on? What's happening? How's everybody doing today? My name is Chuck and welcome back to a brand new video. So today we're gonna be doing a bit of a sit down commentary here because we have a lot to talk about as far as Warzone Season 4 goes. I mean, you guys can see right here that the Battle Pass itself literally is complete within about 8 days, 2 hours, and 11 minutes as the time of making this video. So that amount of time left here, that means we have a lot to go over as stuff has been getting leaked and thrown out there. So I'm gonna compile everything here that you guys need to know about Season 4 for Warzone and put it all into one video. And before any farther into the video, make sure you guys go ahead and drop a like on this thing. Let's see if we can break 600 likes in 24 hours. Also, subscribe with all notifications turned on. We're on the road to 800,000 subscribers. It'd be amazing if you can join the squad. So with all that out of the way, let's actually talk about here the first thing we should probably know, which is when the season is going to be ending versus when the new one's going to be starting. So in about 8 days from now, it's currently the 7th of June. That's going to be about the 15th here on a Tuesday. And normally speaking, we have about a day or so or just a little bit of downtime before we actually do get a brand new season because they like to do stuff, you know, sometimes a little bit staggered. A lot of people are saying that it's going to probably end up coming through on the 17th, and that's going to be the official technical start day. It'll more or less probably end up being like on the 16th, like that Wednesday going into the Thursday, like midnight that time. So like right on that day. So more or less that's when we should probably start to see our brand new season come through. So pretty much about the midway point through June. And something that does happen every single season is when we do happen to get updates to weapons, basically kind of like balancing them out, whether it be buffs or nerfs or anything of the sort. And Raven actually did kind of come out and they said they're going to be taking a look. They said we fully intend on taking a closer look at some of the modern warfare weapons that have been struggling, which in case it is kind of like a lot of the modern warfare weapons right now. Like we have a lot of the SMGs from MW that really aren't all that great. Like we have the P90, we have the PP19 Bison, we have the Fennec, we have the Striker 45. I mean, there's basically almost like half the guns that are, you know, are pretty decent in multiplayer that you can actually use in multiplayer that just realistically don't stack up to any of the Cold War ones. And there's a variety of other guns in there for modern warfare that really aren't all as great. So I'm excited to see some of the buffs they do happen to give them because right now it seems like it's more or less a Cold War type gun meta, but it's not really a meta since we have a lot of options. But it just seems like every single time we go to use something, it's usually like maybe 1 or 2 modern warfare weapons, and then everything else happens to be a Cold War weapon. Now let's actually dive into something that is pretty interesting, which is also gonna be the map changes, stuff that we should expect to see kind of change around the map here for Season 4. Of course, you guys know the whole 80s Verdansk event. We happen to have, you know, the Nakatomi Plaza, you know, the Die Hard, we had Rambo, we had all that stuff in there, which was actually a really cool addition to the game. It brought in specialist bonus, like a huge vault that gave you like $100,000. Honestly, that's probably one of the coolest things they've done for Warzone in quite a long time, and I really hope they continue that trend of bringing more stuff like that into the game because that added a really cool gameplay element, and I'll safe to say that that was really loved by a lot of people out there. As far as that type of stuff goes, we really don't have any sort of concrete information on whether we're going to be getting more stuff like, you know, Nakatomi Plaza with, you know, Die Hard and Rambo. We're going to get more collaboration. But what we do happen to know is something that's pretty interesting, at least to me, and is that this was actually tweeted out by Modern Warzone, is that there is per new like a hashtag Warzone survey. Verdansk 1984 is getting a new fast travel system with quote unquote red doors. And as you guys remember, we had red doors in the trailer that actually showed us going from, you know, basically regular Verdansk back to 1984 Verdansk. And so they're saying this is going to be kind of more or less like a new travel system, like how we used to have like the train and everything like that. But I could definitely see that. I mean, if they broke the train so many different times that I'm only guessing that, you know, when they happen to bring these red doors, these teleportation type doors, kind of more or less like what Fortnite has had and previously with a variety of different things that they can do. I think coming up here into the new season, they happen to have like UFOs, which actually take you from place to place, which is a little bit crazy, but it's kind of like a similar sort of concept where you're going to go in one red door, come out the other in an entirely different portion of the map, which could be pretty cool, but is it going to work? We're gonna have to wait and see and find out. Now jumping into something that's a little bit more cosmetic, which is actually going to be operators. So we have basically about 3 operators which have been more or less leaked slash kind of confirmed with leaks to be coming to Season 4. We don't have a ton of images and everything on them, so I'm trying to like show you guys everything I possibly can on these guys, with of course without trying to, you know, get any type of copyright or anything else like that. But we have a few different ones here that are going to be coming through to the game, which is going to be known as Deathstalker, Komodo, and Quicksand. So we don't have a ton of information on these guys as of yet, but we do happen to know that there is 3 brand new operators, and those guys are going to be entering into Warzone Season 4. Whether they're going to be part of the Battle Pass, whether they're going to be, you know, integrated in some other way, shape, or form, we don't exactly know yet, but we should have 3 brand new operators, which is going to be awesome. Everyone likes operators. Hopefully one of these guys can be really cool because, to be honest with you guys, I use my rose skin almost exclusively because, you know, it's super, you know, dark, it's harder to see. There's kind of really no other skin to use that's like better in my opinion for Warzone, so I like to be able to get another one that's actually cool and really effective at keeping me kind of camouflaged. you know, I think that'd be pretty sick. So I hope one of these guys ends up being something we can use. And last but definitely not least, jumping into something that I think is widely going to be looked at, which is going to be DLC weapons, because we all love getting brand new DLC weapons. It's like one of the things that makes, you know, Call of Duty updates great is we get to see there's a new weapon. Is it going to be broken? Is it going to be really trash? We always love when weapons are really good when they come into the game. It's always kind of a bit of a bummer, at least in my opinion, when you get on, you get hyped for a gun to get thrown into the game, and then you use it, and it's just really not all that great. So I'm really hoping here, fingers crossed, that what we're going to be getting here coming up is going to be a bit interesting. So I want to cover, before we get into what has actually been leaked for the season, something that has almost kind of a little bit been forgot about. So a while back, we had the Modern Warfare DLC weapons that were leaked and actually even added into Ground Loot at one point. There was like the CX-9, which is the Scorpion SMG. I actually even found that in a game and was able to use it for a little bit, and it was really solid, but that was only available via, I think it was like the gold chest. And then same with the RAL LMG, the RAAL LMG. That was a really heavy LMG that was actually in Ground Loot as well. So we had two things right there that were supposed to be added into the game somehow, some way. They were in the game's loot, but we never actually got them as part of our custom classes or as a DLC drop. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, we got the Psychov, which was leaked within that sort of like, you know, area that was like the three guns. It was like the RAL, the CX-9, and the Psychov. So we have the Psychov. I don't know where those other two ones went, so it'd be pretty cool to see, you know, those get added into Season 4. And then as far as the gun that actually got leaked here so far for this next season is actually going to be the HK-21 from Call of Duty Black Ops 1. So Black Ops 1 is definitely, of course, an era in which they can pull weapons from due to, obviously, this is Cold War in here, and that is basically about the same era as Cold War. So a lot of different guns from there they could definitely pull and put into this game, especially because Black Ops 1 came out in 2010, and a lot of the guns actually in Black Ops 1 are kind of more specific to that game. You don't really see a lot of the guns in that game in very many other games. I mean, of course, you have the guns like the FAMAS, which is, you know, the FFAR or the FR 5.56. It's had a whole bunch of different variations over the years, but we have that gun, and we have, you know, I think what was basically the Commando, which is kind of like the XM4, but a lot of those guns just kind of more or less stayed in that game. So it'd be really cool to see, you know, another effective gun get thrown into the game, though the HK-21 is technically speaking an LMG, so I'm not really hyped about that, and I'd like to see some other stuff come to the game. As far as something else I'd like to see come to the game is I'd love for them to be able to take from a game such as Black Ops 2 and be able to throw in a game, be able to throw in a gun kind of like the PDW, like the SMG. PDW SMG from Black Ops 2 was really fun to use. I mean, it had a massive magazine size. I think it could be a great addition to the game, and that's one of the reasons I actually threw it on today's thumbnail, is because that's something that I would love personally to see come to Call of Duty Season 4. A lot of you guys are gonna have to tell me down in the comment section below what you want to be able to see here out of Season 4, whether it be map changes, guns, updates, balancing. Let me know. I just want to see what your guys' thoughts are. If you think something desperately needs to be in the game or removed from the game, just let me know down in the comment section below. I'd be interested to see what all you guys have to say. With that being said, that's all I got for you guys here today within this video. If you guys enjoyed, give it a like, subscribe if you're brand new, turn on those post notifications, and just remember, don't triple cap, don't be Randy, and I'm out. Peace.